Today it seems like everyone is talking about lore, but what is actually happening in the arena? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Faye1 as usual, and with only 3 more days left until the launch into early access with Planetside Arena, it is time to talk about some basic things around the lore. What you might have seen up until now is that Planetside Arena is a sci-fi game, but we're also fighting on an alien planet basically. What is happening, why are we fighting, and what is the history? Moreover, the lore also has effect on gameplay, and I quickly want to discuss that as well, so let's dive into it. The most important thing you should know right now is that Planetside Arena plays 30 years after Planetside 2. We are still fighting on the same planet, we're still fighting on the same continent, but one of the main things that has changed is the faction system. Back in Planetside 2, there were 3 factions: the Terran Republic, the New Conglomerate, and the Venu Sovereignty, and they were always fighting against each other for several reasons. This war on Araxis just went on and went on and went on, and there didn't seem to be any end to it. However though, after 30 years the factions completely disbanded, they disappeared from the world, and right now, 30 years later, what we do see is mainly mercenaries still fighting for the little things left on Araxis. You can say a lot of things about the art style in Planetside Arena, but what I do like is that they actually somehow combine the lore a little bit with the map as well, because you do see that Echoes of Amerish is actually war-torn with a lot of tank wreckages over there. But okay guys, not having 3 factions anymore is a big step away from Planetside 1 and Planetside 2. What I do have to mention though is that the NSOPs are still there in the world of Araxis, but mainly working as merchants. Other than that, you still sometimes see some elements of different factions. For example, we've seen the Vanguard, but also we've seen some different Venu weapons. Of course, after having a war for over 30 years, there still are weapons left behind by the different factions, so it's cool to see them actually be implemented as well. Anyway, what's left right now in the battlefields are mainly mercenaries. They are just fighting to stay alive basically, and that's also why I do think that the Battle Royale game mode does make sense with this system. Having said that though, there are some future plans for the storyline. Planetside Arena is still early access, but there is already a roadmap available, and I think that with every new mode added, every new season basically, there might be a little new part of the lore added, and in this way we're actually going to go back to the factions. Factions will be restored in the future, and I also think that will be ready once we're gonna hit the Massive Clash. Massive Clash is gonna be a 250 vs 250 or 500 vs 500 mode inside Planetside Arena, which might be very recognizable if you've ever played Planetside 2. Massive Clash will be a base versus base mode, so I do think, for example, it can be Venu against NC, or maybe Terran Republic against NC, or any other combination. It still isn't really Planetside because you do miss a 3rd faction, but gameplay wise I also think you will fix a lot of problems or issues. What sometimes happens is the double teaming, and that makes things sometimes kind of unfair. What you do know right now, if you got 250 vs 250 or even more players, you will always have some sort of fair system. Especially if they're gonna add something like a matching system, because what we see right now quite often is imbalance in population per faction. The 4 faction robots should have fixed this issue a little bit, but still there are not enough paying members that actually are playing NSO, so there is still quite some imbalance. Anyway, Massive Clash is still a long way from now, probably in 2020. But what do we have right now story wise? I do think we'll get something similar to, for example, Blackout offered, and that is that you can find little storyline elements on the battlefield. For example, what you can do in Blackout is you can find a little shredded piece of armor, and if you find enough pieces of armor, it will tell a bit of a story. So then you learn a little bit more about what actually happened on the continent. Otherwise, what I can also see is something similar to the EverQuest event, where you have to find shinies, and every shiny you find also tells a little bit of a story. I think this will be a wonderful way to have at least a little bit more background information while we are fighting over there, so that will be cool. On the other hand though, gameplay is key to have fun, so they shouldn't invest too much in the lore in this department if you ask me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the return of the factions? What do you think about the current lore in Planetside Arena? Let me know what you think, especially if you're a Planetside veteran. What do you think about this completely new system in Planetside Arena? But that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. That's me, that's Fable1, and we'll see you soon with some more content.